You love your cat, right? They're part of your family, sleep next to you, keep you company, and are definitely the star of your home. But what many cat owners don't realize is that there are some common, and seemingly harmless, habits that could actually be putting your cat's health and well-being at risk. And the worst part, you might be doing it without even knowing. Today, we're going to reveal what scientists have discovered about living with indoor cats and why you should never make this mistake. Stick with me until the end, because this information could literally save your cat's life. Oh, and before we go any further, if you love your kitty and want to see more content about feline health, behavior, and fun facts, go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And drop a comment down below with your cat's name. I'd love to know what your furry best friend is called. Now let's get to the point. What's that one thing you should never do with your indoor cat? Leave them without mental and physical stimulation. That's right. It might seem harmless, but it's one of the biggest mistakes cat owners make. Animal behavior researchers have been warning about this for years. Keeping a cat indoors is absolutely important for safety reasons. To avoid car accidents, fights with other animals, exposure to diseases, poisoning, injuries, all of that. But the big issue is when we keep them inside and don't make up for what they lose by not going outside. The mistake is forgetting that, even though your cat might seem calm or even lazy at times, inside they're a natural-born predator. And that's not an exaggeration. Cats are hunters by instinct. Their brains are wired to explore, watch, stalk, and pounce. When you remove that from their daily life, they enter a state of silent frustration that builds up over time. It's like locking an athlete in a room with a couch and endless snacks. Sounds fun at first, right? But eventually they lose their energy, focus, health, and even their will to live. It's the same for your cat. Without stimulation, they gain weight, become lethargic, lose interest in everything, and that's when the problems start. Peeing outside the litter box, excessive meowing, anxiety attacks, over-grooming, unexplained aggression. All of these can be signs of boredom and stress caused by a poor, unstimulating environment. And here's something crucial. It's not enough to just keep your cat alive. You have to give them quality of life. A rich, engaging environment is just as important as food and water. They need climbing shelves, interactive toys, hiding spots, tunnels, cardboard boxes, and even a window with a view of the outside world. Your cat needs to see the world, even if it's just from a distance. They need to hunt, even if it's just a toy mouse. They need to solve little puzzles, like getting treats out of a toy. That activates their brain, their body, and keeps them mentally healthy. Without that, cats fall into chronic boredom, and boredom for a cat is like a slow poison. Studies show that this kind of poor environment doesn't just shorten a cat's lifespan, it also increases the risk of stress-related illnesses like urinary problems, gastritis, and a weakened immune system. And the saddest part? All of this is easily preventable. Just a few minutes a day playing with them, adding new things to their space, rotating toys, and stimulating their natural curiosity. This isn't spoiling your cat. It's meeting their basic needs. So remember, the one thing you should never do with your cat is treat them like a decorative pillow. They're not a furry cushion that meows. They're a living being, full of energy and instinct, and they need stimulation to truly live, not just exist. When a cat has nothing to do, when they live in an environment with no stimulation, boredom becomes a real problem. And that boredom slowly starts to turn into something much more serious, behavioral and even physical issues. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly sprint through the house like they've been zapped? Out of nowhere, they bolt down the hallway, leap onto furniture, climb curtains. It might look funny, but often that's just your cat releasing pent-up energy. It's like they're saying, "Hey, I need to burn this off somehow." Other signs are more subtle, but just as concerning. Scratching furniture compulsively, non-stop meowing, chewing on random objects, licking themselves excessively until they lose fur, or even becoming aggressive without warning. Sometimes, a cat that's always been calm starts attacking you, hiding or avoiding all interaction. And many times, this is a result of emotional imbalance caused by a lack of stimulation, interaction, and an enriching daily routine. And it's not just me saying this. It's backed by solid scientific research in feline behavior. Studies have shown that cats in boring, unstimulating environments are much more likely to develop issues like obesity because they eat out of boredom, obsessive behaviors like overgrooming, and even feline depression, which is very real and increasingly studied. Depressed cats lose interest in everything, sleep excessively, and avoid contact with even their favorite humans. And here's something important. Many cat owners misread these behaviors as acting out or being spoiled, when in fact, they're cries for help. Cats can't talk, so they show their emotions through their actions. If you're not paying attention, you might end up punishing a behavior that's actually a symptom of deeper distress. The good news is that all of this can be avoided with a few simple changes. You don't need to spend a fortune or turn your house into a jungle. Just small improvements can go a long way. Set aside a few minutes each day to play with your cat. Use interactive toys. Simulate hunting with wand toys or small balls. Build hiding spots and obstacle courses with boxes or shelves. Give them a safe window view to watch the world outside. Place scratching posts in key spots. All of this gives your cat something to do. And more importantly, it fulfills them emotionally. Another crucial but often overlooked factor is routine. Cats love predictability. Having set times for meals, play, rest, and interaction reduces stress and gives your cat a sense of control and safety. If your cat knows that every evening after dinner you'll play with them, that becomes something they look forward to. That's why boredom in cats isn't just a physical problem, it's an emotional one too. And when the mind suffers, the body follows. A frustrated cat can develop gastritis, hair loss, urinary issues, health problems that seem to come out of nowhere but are actually a direct result of a poor lifestyle. So, if you've noticed that your cat is acting differently, more restless, more aggressive, more distant, or just not themselves, don't ignore it. It could be a sign that they're bored, frustrated, or even depressed. And the solution is within your reach. At the end of the day, your cat doesn't need luxury. They need attention, variety, and most importantly, environmental enrichment and interaction with you. They want to live, explore, play, even if they're indoors. And with just a bit of creativity and love, you can completely change your cat's life. And yours too. And here we get to the second big mistake that many cat owners make without even realizing it. Keeping the environment too poor or boring. Your home might feel cozy and safe to you, but for a cat, an environment with no stimulation, no variety, and no opportunities to explore is basically a prison. Having just the basics, food, water, and a litter box, is the bare minimum for survival, but it's not enough to ensure your cat has a good quality of life. Imagine being locked in an apartment all day with nothing to do except eat, drink, and use the bathroom. It might be peaceful at first, but eventually it becomes suffocatingly boring. And that's exactly how your cat feels. They need to move, climb, explore, hunt, hide, play. It's how their mind and body are wired to function. A truly enriched environment is one that offers challenges, choices, and variety. And it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Wall-mounted shelves so your cat can climb and observe from above. Cats love high places because they feel safe there. Interactive. Toys that mimic hunting. Tunnels and cardboard boxes for hiding. Scratching posts to keep their claws healthy and to release stress. All of these little additions make the space more dynamic, interesting, and fulfilling for your cat's senses. But more than anything else, do you know what your cat needs most? Interaction with you, and this might surprise a lot of people. Many do still believe that old myth that cats are independent, that they don't care much for their humans, that they prefer to be left alone. That is a huge misconception. Cats bond with their humans more than most people realize. They watch your every move, mimic behaviors, follow your routine, and yes, they feel it when they're being ignored. Some cats will meow non-stop or knock things over just to get your attention. And it's not them being annoying. It's a genuine need for connection. They are sensitive to your presence, your mood, your attention. A cat that lives in a boring environment and doesn't get affection or interaction can become either totally withdrawn or the opposite, extremely restless and clingy. And here's something really fascinating. Studies have shown that the simple, active presence of the owner, talking to the cat, playing for just a few minutes a day, offering affection at the right times, actually reduces stress and improves the cat's physical health. It's proven. Cats who engage regularly with their humans live longer, get sick less often, and have much more emotional balance. So if you truly want the best for your cat, start by looking at your home from their perspective. Where can they climb? Where can they hide? Where can they play? What can they interact with? And most importantly, when was the last time you actually played with your cat? Really engaged with them? Because it's not enough to just fill your house with toys if you're not part of the experience. The best toy your cat can have is you. They want your attention, your energy, your presence. And when they get that, they respond with affection, trust, and balance. A well-stimulated cat is a happier, healthier, and more connected companion. And speaking of being ignored, this is a point we really need to emphasize. A lot of people still believe that old myth that cats are independent and don't need attention, affection, or interaction. That idea might sound harmless, but it's actually very dangerous. Yes, cats behave differently from dogs. They're more discreet, more subtle, and sometimes they like their alone time. But that doesn't mean they don't feel loneliness, separation anxiety, or even deep sadness. Science has already proven this. Studies on feline behavior have shown that cats who have little interaction with their owners show higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. In other words, even if your cat seems fine, just sleeping in their corner, calm and quiet, they notice when they're being left out. They feel it when they're not part of the household routine, when they're ignored, when no one engages with them beyond filling the food bowl or changing the water. And that starts to wear them down emotionally, quietly over time. That's why it's so important to include your cat in your daily life. Call them to play, talk to them, let them be around during everyday activities, even if it's just hanging out with you while you watch TV or work. Cats form emotional bonds. They attach deeply to people, and that connection is essential for a long, happy life. Now, listen carefully, because this part is very serious. Have you ever used essential oil diffusers to make your home smell nice and feel relaxing? Well, be careful. Many people use these thinking they're making the home cozy. But the truth is, a lot of essential oils are extremely toxic to cats. That's right. What smells relaxing to you could be poison for your cat. A cat's respiratory system is much more sensitive than ours. They don't metabolize certain substances the way humans, or even dogs, do. Oils like tea tree, eucalyptus, cinnamon, peppermint, citrus, and others that are common in diffusers can cause severe reactions, including vomiting, tremors, difficulty breathing, liver damage, and even death in more extreme cases. And the worst part, sometimes we don't even realize it. The cat starts acting strange, lethargic, not eating, hiding, and the owner thinks it's a virus or something they ate, when in fact it was just the scent in the air. This also includes incense, room sprays, scented candles, and harsh cleaning products. It's absolutely essential to check whether a product is safe for use around cats. So here's a very clear and direct warning. Fragrancing your home could be poisoning your cat. Before using anything with a strong scent or chemical base, do your research, read labels, and look for reliable information. Your cat lives low to the ground. They breathe what you breathe, and even more intensely, they don't have a choice. It's your responsibility. Providing a safe environment goes beyond window screens and hiding electrical cords. It's also about being mindful of the air, the sounds, the smells, and the energy in your home. A truly healthy home is one that respects the needs of everyone living there. And that includes your cat, who relies on you for everything. Another thing scientists have been warning about is the use of collars with bells. It might seem cute, but the constant sound right near your cat's ear, which is much more sensitive than ours, can cause ongoing stress. The result? A more restless, skittish, or even aggressive cat. And all because they're being bombarded with a sound they can't escape from. Now, pay attention. Never ever scold your cat like you would a dog. Cats don't respond well to punishment, yelling, or hitting. This only makes them withdraw from you, become fearful, or develop defensive behaviors. The ideal approach is always to redirect unwanted behavior with positive reinforcement. In other words, when your cat does something right, reward them. That's what builds a trusting relationship between you. And before you think all of this is over the top, remember, cats live, on average, from 12 to 18 years. That's many years of companionship, and the more you know about how to provide a healthy and stimulating environment, the better the quality of life for your furry friend and for your relationship with them. So now that you know what you should never do with your cat inside the house, tell me in the comments. Have you ever made any of these mistakes? And what do you plan to change after watching today's video? Let's share experiences. Many people learn from what you share. And if this content helped you, don't forget to leave a like, share it with other cat owners, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Every week, there's a new video about the feline world. Curiosities, care tips, practical advice, and everything you need to be the best cat parent possible. Thanks for sticking around until the end, and remember, your cat depends on you for a happy life. See you in the next video.